Living in Maplewood Estates meant you needed a thick skin. Karen, our notorious HOA tyrant, had tried everything over the years: fines, fake violations, even sneaking into backyards. But her latest stunt? That one nearly crossed into federal crime territory. You see, I own a vintage aircraft. Not some little hobby drone, but a restored Piper Cub that I keep on my property, properly permitted, properly documented, and most importantly, protected by a federal preservation order. The aircraft had been part of a historic registry, and I was proud to maintain it as both a collector and a licensed pilot. Karen, of course, didn't care. To her, my plane was an eyesore, cluttering up her perfect suburban landscape. One Friday afternoon, I came home to find something horrifying. A tow truck parked near my property and a man with a clipboard inspecting the plane. When I demanded to know what was happening, he said, "We've been contracted to remove this aircraft for scrap. HOA order." My jaw nearly hit the ground. "You can't touch that plane," I said firmly. "It's federally protected." Before the man could reply, Karen strutted over, smug as ever, clipboard in hand. "This junk heap violates neighborhood standards," she declared. "I arranged for it to be scrapped. You should thank me." I nearly laughed at the sheer audacity. "Karen, that junk heap is protected under a federal preservation order. You're about 2 minutes away from committing a federal offense." She rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic. It's just an old toy." I pulled out my folder of documents, FAA certifications, federal registry papers, and the preservation order itself. The tow truck driver glanced over them and immediately backed off. "Ma'am," he told Karen, "I can't touch this. If I move it, I could lose my license and face federal charges." He packed up and left without another word. Karen's smugness evaporated. For once, she looked nervous. I didn't stop there. I called the local authorities and reported her attempt to unlawfully sell protected property. Within an hour, 2 officers arrived, and I handed them the paperwork and explained the situation. They took notes, asked a few questions, and then turned to Karen. "Ma'am," one officer said, "you understand you could be facing serious consequences. This isn't just HOA business. This involves federal property protections." Her face turned red. She sputtered about community standards and just trying to help, but it was too late. The officers issued her a citation and explained that the report would be forwarded to the FAA's legal department. Word spread fast. By the next morning, neighbors were whispering about how Karen had nearly triggered a federal investigation. Some even joked that she was lucky not to have federal agents knocking at her door. The woman who once held herself above everyone with her clipboard and rules had officially been humbled. As for me, I still keep my Piper Cub in pristine condition. Whenever I roll it out for maintenance or a short flight, neighbors wave and smile. Karen, on the other hand, avoids even looking in my direction. Sometimes I think back on that day, watching her face go pale when she realized she'd crossed into federal territory, and I can't help but smile. You can find me for my mailbox. You can yell about my garden. But try to sell my plane as scrap? That's when Karen finally learned. Some things are off limits, even to her.